Welcome to The Subject is Moot, where everything we discuss is debatable. I am Dom, and across from me is...
Mike.
And a special thanks to Vinny and Quiz, the producers of the podcast. We want to hear from you, so write in your opinion, comments, topics you want us to talk about to thesubjectismoot@yahoo.com, and we will bring them up during future shows. You could also follow us on Twitter at TSIM_podcast, as well as Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. In the search bar, just type in Dom Mike or The Subject is Moot, and you'll find us. Behind the mics for episode 28.
Do you remember when you were 28? You old bat?
That was a long time ago.
Not that long ago.
It was a lot less for you.
A little bit. A little bit.
I do remember when I was 28 and I was probably playing bass for about a year.
What do you think of my jersey?
I like it.
Calgary Flames. I got to move on now. The Rangers are out of it, so I got to root for someone. NHL playoffs are very exciting, personally.
NHL period is very exciting.
For me, yes.
Yeah. You into baseball yet?
Yeah, of course. I'm not happy with the way the Yanks have been playing, but at least they won a game yesterday, so.
Mets won a few in a row. Did they go for the sweep? Did they get the sweep? I have no idea.
Looking good.
Oh, shh. They are looking good. Let's enjoy it while we can.
I don't enjoy the Mets.
I'm a New York fan. Listen, I follow the...
Whatever you want.
I follow the Yankees, but I'm not going to root against the Mets.
I'm not rooting against them.
Why don't you just grow up?
I'm not rooting against them. I'm not like that.
So that's what
I
I'm
have plenty
saying.
of Met friends and family.
So that's what I'm saying.
Not blood related though. All my blood related family are Yankee fans.
We can't start a show without thanking Sweetwater.com. Sweetwater has been providing music instruments and pro audio since 1979. They have excellent products, pricing, and customer service. And I emphasize customer service. Sweetwater also offers interest-free financing, free shipping to the lower 48 states, and an exclusive free 2-year warranty, which comes with almost every product they offer. They are located in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and their number is 800-222-4700. Call them for sales assistance, technical questions, or advice. You could also visit them online at sweetwater.com.
Emphasis on customer service.
Absolutely. Just tremendous. Can't get enough.
I know you're a big fan.
I am a big fan.
Moving on.
Oh, we talk a lot about them.
You do.
I can't help it. Forget about the jersey. Let's talk music.
Okay.
What do you got?
What don't I have?
You took a really deep breath in there.
What do I not have? Well, I will say this much. It has been a few weeks since the release of the new Dream Theater. And your thoughts? Because, you really don't need... No one really needs my thoughts, but...
Well, you are a bigger Dream Theater fan than I am. I love them. If I had to be on a desert island... Somebody asked me this question the other day. And this is the truth. He asked me a bunch of other questions too, but, favorite food. So if you had to be on a desert island, what one band? You could bring one band and all of their music and listen to it on this desert island. Who would it be? I didn't pick Dream Theater.
I hope you didn't pick Kiss, dude.
I did not pick Kiss.
All right, good. Kenny G.
No.
Zamfir.
No.
Lawrence Welk?
The other guy, I keep forgetting his name. Was it Lawrence Welk? No.
It was.
Engelbert
Humperdinck. One of my dad's favorite singers.
Billy Joel.
Got it.
And that was a tough one between him and Elton John. But I just figured Billy Joel because I think Billy has music for my ears for a longer period of time. Just don't want to keep hearing John Petrucci play guitar. You do.
I would have a tough time, to be honest with you, because I would really, while I'm on that island listening to Dream Theater over and over again, I really would really miss Joe Satriani's collection. So
you have to pick one. You have to pick one.
It'd probably be Dream Theater.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I get the best of both worlds there. I get songs and I get guitar playing.
You do. And
keyboard playing.
I could listen to John Petrucci play all day long too, but...
Apparently you can't.
Well,
apparently you cannot.
I could listen to him all day, but I can't be on a desert...
Night?
But I can't be on a desert island with him and like Dream Theater.
Right.
So that wasn't really a question for the show. It was just a question that he asked me, and it would be Billy Joel. That's who I would pick, but you would pick
only
Dream
one
Theater.
artist, he said, huh?
One artist.
Interesting.
And he also said one food and whatever it was.
Right.
So talk to us about Dream Theater. The show comes out. You want to know what I think. I love the album. I love the album. I wish it was a little bit longer, but I'll tell you why I like the album. Because I think after Astonishing, I think what they did was they went, I could be completely wrong. This is just my...
You're on the right track.
They went back to the drawing board, and I think they said, what can we do different? Maybe I think the other one was, it was too Einstein. It was too deep.
Yeah.
And I think what they did here was like, let's just make a song-oriented rock album.
Right.
And they did. They kept it right in the pocket, 4 to 7 minute songs, right?
They went Broadway, now they're back off Broadway.
Well, they
The
really,
Astonishing was Broadway.
yeah. They did. I thought they did a great job. I think vocally, musically, tremendous top to bottom. Is a great album.
It is.
So
It's streamlined. It's even for the mild Dream Theater fan. A friend, my closest friend is the mild fan. I wouldn't even call him a fan. He likes some of their stuff as long as it's, there's no long instrumental sections and there's not 25-minute songs. Even he said he really digs it. It's Dream Theater, man. I love every second of it. Even the ballad, which I was hoping there would be no ballad on, but they landed it. It was outstanding, the song. And in a few short days, I will be seeing them live. And they play scenes from memory. So I have to get my air drumming skills ready.
So the other day I'm on Instagram and John Mayung is playing, I don't know what song it was, from Scenes from a Memory. And let me tell you, that just took me back. It makes me want to take out that DVD, and then I'm having a hard time with my DVD player upstairs. So
Well, how about getting a ticket and just driving 15 minutes from your house and seeing them?
I should,
You
but
should have, yeah.
but you bought the tickets and you did.
No, someone bought them for me.
Oh,
Sorry.
good friend.
You knew I would have. Crazy Gar.
You could have said, "Hey, then get 3." Or is your
He
brother?
didn't ask me. He just got me one and my brother one, figuring that we'd all want to go.
So tell him to stay home.
Gar? He may.
No, he won't stay home. I would never do that to him anyway.
He's not that big of a fan. Crazy Gar.
He's been to. We saw them in the city together.
Yep.
But-
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing new stuff. I'm looking forward to hearing the new stuff live, and I'm obviously looking forward.
So wait,
to
they're
hearing-
doing scenes, the whole
Yes.
album,
Yep.
and the new stuff.
Not the whole. I don't think they're
No,
playing
but-
the whole new album, but they're playing a handful of songs from. And I think they're supposedly. I haven't looked up. I'm not a set list guy. I don't want to know before the show, but apparently they're also going to be touching on some of Awake. Because Awake's 25 years now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Awake
So-
is 25. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I remember I got that probably in 1996. We were playing roller hockey.
Yeah.
But-
Awake. It's right
They-
there.
There you go.
That's my poster.
That was my first. That and Images and Words was the first.
I got that at Zigzag Records,
Zigzag.
Staten Island, New York.
How was the old remember? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
They called you
They're closed.
I wonder why. I wonder why they called you
I don't know.
I have no idea
You
either.
have the new Dream Theater. You have the new Joe Satriani. Yeah.
I think overall, though, it's song oriented. A lot of times when you put on Scenes from a Memory, Astonishing, you just can't go to track 5. You have to start from the beginning. It's a story, right? You want to hear it. Astonishing,
Astonishing's tough.
it's tough
Even
to
for the deepest fan, I happen to like it a lot.
Well, I don't expect you to not like it because you have a hard time being objective.
Right. Well,
I think you're a fan beyond being a fan. I think you could say, well, I wish it was this, but you'll never say it was a horrible album or it was
never.
bad,
Never.
even if it was.
I wasn't I will tell you this, though. Rewinding back many years ago, I was not happy with Falling Into Infinity.
I was just going to bring up See, I liked it. It was a commercial album. It was a song-oriented album. You were disappointed, I think. Are they coming off of Kevin Moore not being on that? We can talk about this. I keep bringing this up.
No, but I like it more now than I did then. But when it came out, I was slightly let down. There was a handful of songs that I loved, but I'm just reiterating the point.
What
that
was the
you're
album
saying.
before it?
Before what? Falling Into Infinity?
Yeah.
Well, technically, the studio full length was Awake, but in between Awake was Change of Seasons.
Right. So coming off that and going to Falling Into Infinity, yes, I agree with you. It's a disappointing album. But I still thought for what it was still a tremendous album.
I was also still, at the time, grieving over Kevin Moore's
I know
loss.
you are. I know. See,
We've
that's
talked
the thing.
about that. Let's not go on about
I know. Grow up, will you?
Shut your face.
All right. Sorry.
Shut up, you fudge.
So you're going to see them.
Yeah.
You have good seats?
Isn't Count Basie, dude. Anything's good there.
Yeah. So
It's a fantastic place to see a show. I saw Satriani there with Miniman and Brian Bella. That was a treat.
no, this show's going to be a treat. I would just be staring at John Mayung. I still can't get over how great of a bass player he is. I know we look at Geddy Lee as being probably the best because you could sing and play at the same time, but I mean he's just John Myung is.
He
just,
could sing, play, and also play bass pedals, keyboard pedals
exactly.
at the same time. But Myung is underrated, and I think he's been far too many years buried in the mix. And this new album, finally, you get to hear him a little bit more. I want to hear him.
Of course, you want to hear him.
I love hearing bass in my metal and my rock.
A lot of music. If you go now that I obviously been playing bass for a little while, but you go back listen to a lot of 80s music and even music after. It's a lot of times you can't hear bass, and that's disappointing.
Well, during the synthesizer era of the 80s, the bass was kind of like.
Oh, he's just the guy who carries the.
I don't even know if they even there was really real instruments in a lot of that music in the 80s. Some of that more synthesized pop stuff. Obviously the real band still had bass, but even then, like if you listen to Duran Duran, who had a bass player, was it buried? I really don't remember.
Was the bass player the guy who hung out with the band or the drummer? Or was it the bass player and the drummer who hung out with the guitar player?
No.
In your eyes,
well,
yes.
Not during the 80s. In the 80s music, there was no, we're talking about like 80s alternative and new wave and stuff. It wasn't about the guitar player. It was about the band. Those bands were.
And the hair.
We won't get into that. That was a sight to behold for most of those bands and artists.
Overall, though, I liked it. It's a great album, and I'm glad they put that out for their diehard fans and their fans who are probably on the fence after Astonishing. I know a friend of mine who just said, well, their last greatest album was Images and Words. Scenes from Memory is my Images and Scenes are the top two, and I don't have a specific order. I think it depends on the day you ask me, but I would, I don't discredit their music after Images and Words. I think all their albums were great after that, but I understand what he's saying because Images and Words really is just an unbelievable album.
Yep. Yeah.
But I think for this album, I think they did a good job bringing their fans back.
Oh,
Who were on the fence? The fence
Yeah.
fans. So
Astonishing was tough, but
it was just so
they're back,
intricate,
baby.
So intricate. Don't sing.
I'm not.
Magnus Karlsson. What does that name? What does that name mean to you?
God, this guy's as great of a guitarist as he is. He's also a prolific songwriter. He's made some great albums, some great singers. He made Starbreaker with Tony Harnell from TNT. He did a few albums with Jorn Land and Russell Allen. I mean, he's had albums under his own name with a whole slew of different singers. The guy is just a great guitarist, but also a great songwriter. And he has, I don't really know, to be honest with you, anything that I have that he's on, that he's a part of is fantastic.
So on Facebook, he has a question. Early March, he wrote this question, which is a very good question. But I have to leave this up to you because you are Metal Mike, Hard Rock Mike, Music Mike. So my question is, which is Magnus's question, which metal or hard rock album do you think has the best guitar sound? I kind of feel like we've touched on guitar sound before.
That's a cool question, though.
It's a very good question, but I can't answer that.
Especially, is he saying heavy metal or hard rock?
I'm going to read this again.
One more time.
Can you please listen? That you have headphones on. I'm putting you to sleep on one of your favorite artists that you just said all these good things about.
I think it's your voice.
It's very soothing.
Soothing, yeah.
It is soothing. Which metal or hard rock album, again, which metal or hard rock album do you think has the best guitar sound?
You have no opinion of your own? A favorite?
It will not be anything new. It's not.
No, it doesn't have to be.
No, but so it wouldn't be fair to all the. I mean.
Well, I'll give you My Tide, which I've always held on to very tightly, which are two albums, believe it or not, that when I heard the guitar sound, I thought to myself, how on earth do I achieve that sound? You ready? Doc and Back for the Attack, Extreme Porno Graffiti. To me, both of those albums, the guitar just punches you right in the face. The sound. Plus the playing, obviously, George Lynch and Nuno Bettencourt. Two of my favs.
That's tough. I'd have to pick a Van Halen album.
Oh, maybe it was Simon and Garfunkel.
Easy. Buddy Holly. I'd have to pick a Van Halen album. Which one, I couldn't tell you. You know, if you, it depends, because you have to look at, and again, we talk about this probably too much, but Eddie and the way he recorded his first 6 from the next few, and then the next few after that, he played around with the way he recorded his guitar sound.
See, Van Halen was not as new to me as like when I was discovering metal and rock, as Dokken and Extreme were, because I was kind of discovering them as it was happening. Van Halen, I already knew of, just even though I wasn't a fan yet as a little kid, because I wasn't into like that type of music as a little kid. You still heard it on the radio. You know, you still kind of always knew who Van Halen was, but they weren't like, you know, it wasn't on pop radio, obviously, but you still, you know, changing the radio stations or on TV or whatever, and someone from someone's car, you still heard Van Halen. So yeah, Van Halen 1 is still one of the greatest sounding guitar sounding albums ever. But as far as like when with an album or both of those albums just really hit me as I was getting into the scene.
What stands out? So, yeah, I don't know. I would pick that, you know, and it's tough.
Van Halen 1 or all the first, all the Roth albums you're picking?
No, I would pick Van Halen 1 more so than anyone else. It was the first one. It's the first one that hit you in the face that said, wow, who are these people? I want to hear more.
I still think, to me, it's the best of all of their albums. It's the best guitar sounding wise. It's the best. So, even though it's my personal favorite, I love 2 also. But then again, they're another band. I really don't dislike anything except the Sharon album. But that's a great question. It's a fun question because it makes you think. It makes you look back. I mean, listen, there's so many great sounding guitar albums nowadays.
Well, then you look at Master of Puppets.
Right.
That's something that punches you right in the face. That hits you hard.
We can keep going though.
No,
I can tell you. I
can.
could say Pantera.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, you can. But
vocal display of power will really. I mean, look at the cover of someone getting punched in the face, and that was a, you know.
But the reason why I say Master of Puppets is because. Is that their last album that sounded like that before they went to black?
No, Justice for All was great too. That was right after.
But Master of Puppets that's another great album as far as sound, punching you in the face.
Yeah, that's a great question though. It's a fun question.
It is. I think you can go
as a music fan.
I think you could you could talk all day about this actually, and that would be fun to have a round table of people who
are into
metal and guitar, yes.
Right.
That what they would say. Because I guarantee what they would say would probably raise your eyebrows and say, you know what? Yeah, I probably didn't think of that. I mean, of all the thousands and thousands of albums that are out,
you're going to get people who say Black Sabbath. You'll get Slayer. You'll get all different. You know, you may even get people who will be elbow outside of the box and say like Ministry or Rammstein. You know, you never know what you're going to get with something like that. That's why it's such a fun question.
It definitely is.
Nice, Magnus.
Definitely good, Magnus. Good job, Magnus. So when is Rush touring? Soon? And without Neal Peart?
Hell will freeze over before that happens. You'll never see Rush as Rush tour without Neal Peart. Never. You may see, I don't even know if you'll see this. I mean, every Rush fan's hopeful. You may see like a like Lee and Lifeson project. I mean, how cool would it be to see like a Lee Lifeson Miniman project? I mean, anyone out there who knows who Marco Miniman is would understand how cool that would be. And then maybe write an album together, you know. But I think some purists, like my brother, even so myself, may not want to see them together with another. It's almost like cheating on your wife or something, you know, or leaving your family. But the thing is, 1/3 of Rush doesn't want anything to do with the music industry anymore, or touring or playing. So does that mean the other two are going to stop? No. Will they make music independently and individually? Yes. Would it be unbelievably awesome if they made music together again? I think most Rush fans would love to see that.
Would you? So here you have a frontman in Roth leaving, Hagar coming in. So you're basically saying that Neal Peart is irreplaceable.
Listen, there's a lot of great drummers out there.
Of course,
who could probably play.
Look at Portnoy. Portnoy leaves and they got Mangini, so
Right.
they replaced him and they didn't skip a beat. Although
I miss
for the most, but okay, but you're still loving their albums too.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not saying, well, I'm gonna.
No, I'm not abandoning ship.
Exactly.
There's no way.
Okay.
He's irreplaceable because of what Rush is. They're an institution.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're talking about 40 plus years of pumping out records, great records, and it's crazy how it's almost like with Queen too. Like there was like a rediscovery of Rush. You know, they made documentaries, they made movies like with the Queen movie and stuff like that. But it was more focused on the band. It wasn't like biopical. Is that a word? Biopic.
It sounds really
biopic.
It sounds really
fancy,
profound.
But it was like there was like a rediscovery of Rush because I think people were like, wow, these guys are really good, and you don't realize they were platinum in the '80s. You know, but I don't think people would want to see them tour as Rush or be Rush without Peart. It's not going to happen. There's no way. They're never going to tour under that name again unless Peart says, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's do some shows. Or I'm feeling pretty good that I stepped away for a year or 2 or 5. How about going to the studio again and just putting a record out? That's the only way I think you're ever going to see anything under the Rush banner.
If they did tour with 2/3, would you go see them?
100%. Yeah. I mean, you well, I'm not. Who would I be spiting for not seeing them?
Right. I would go see them.
Because I know they wouldn't just get some random drummer to replace him. It would be a drummer who could handle. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of young players out there who could handle Peart's parts. But it's because of YouTube and, you know, it's different now. It's trying to learn like a musician like Neal Peart's parts are a little bit easier now because of YouTube. And because there's so many, like, there's so much sheet music out there on everything and everyone and every style of music where 30 years ago, if you were trying to learn stuff like that, you would be hard bound to find a drum teacher who can teach you how to play.
Do you think Neal gets involved?
Natural science.
So let's say they do that. You think Neal gets involved with the selection process?
It'll never happen. I'm telling you, it's never going to happen. There's just no way. They'll never tour as Rush again without him. There will be no Rush without Neal Peart. That's just my personal opinion, and I'm sure plenty of Rush fanatics will agree with me.
They'll agree because they don't want to see it. They really don't want it to come true.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they already said it too. It's not happening. Don't expect us to tour as Rush without Neal. It's not happening.
So what does that mean? So Alex and Geddy.
Well, they'll still make their own music independently. I think Alex Lifeson's
No, but do they? So the 2/3 then create another spin-off album? I mean, not an album, but a band called
that's what I said.
Sideway Cars or something.
My hypothetical band or dream band for them would be called the Lee Lifeson Miniman Project. You know, just to hear them write together again, because at least you don't have Rush, but you have 2/3 of Rush writing the bulk of the music with a genius like Miniman who doesn't just play drums too. He writes also. You know, what they'd be missing in that equation is Neal Peart's lyrics. You know, and obviously his drumming style. Because Miniman, no one could replicate Peart. Peart, whatever you want to say is his name. He's a legend. He's probably the greatest rock drummer ever. There's no question. I don't think anyone who knows him or wants to talk rock drumming knows he's the greatest ever.
Interesting to see.
Well, he's a pioneer,
yeah.
Rather than someone just sitting behind a kit, just playing regular rhythm, which is nothing wrong with that either. But he was amazing, still is.
I would go see them though.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so
what I want to start doing, Dom, is I wanted to start introducing, because I obviously talk way too much about guitarists, and there's so many guitarists out there. I want to start doing a little quick segment called 3 Guitarists of the Podcast, where I just throw out 3 names. I'm not going to go on and look them up. People will find them on YouTube, on the internet. Obviously, with the internet superhighway, a name is easy to find nowadays. So I'm going to throw 3 names out there each podcast for speaking straight to the guitarists of our audience, And if they want to look them up, they can.
Go ahead.
So this one,
he's opening up the book.
I'm going into the book because I want to make sure that I don't repeat. So my 3 for this podcast are going to be Thom Pankhurst. So it's Thom Pankhurst, Pankhurst. Stephen, Stephen, Taranto, Taranto, who just released a fantastic new EP. Outstanding. And Marco Sfogli, who a lot of guitarists already know of him. He's played with Labrie, Virgil Donati, the drummer. He just put a new record out called Homebound. So those are 3 guitarists of the podcast that I'm going to throw out there for all the guitarists out there to look up. If you don't know them, a lot of guitar players will probably already know these guys.
Are they heavier rock?
One is heavier.
And chant style, Marillion, what sound?
Marco Sfogli's kind of like rock, prog, fusion-y. He's a good mix. Stephen Taranto's a little bit heavier. And Thom Pankhurst is just really melodic. Really, really straightforward melodic guitar playing.
Veterans, long time?
Marco Sfogli's been around for a while. The other 2 are young men.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good to see some
Mix
new
it up.
young. Yeah.
But definitely check them out. I don't think any guitarist will be disappointed in any of them, or at least one of the 3. Put it that way.
All right, well. We'll check
Bandcamp, YouTube, iTunes, I'm sure. Pretty much anywhere. You can find all 3 of them.
Did he play with Labrie on Beelzebub?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Was it Beelzebub? What was the name of that album?
Well, he had the first 2 albums of Mole Muzzler.
Right, that's it.
He went under those.
Beelzebub or something was on. There was a track on there.
Yeah. But Sfogli he's been around for that long. And those albums are getting up there in age too.
Yeah.
The early Labrie solo records. They've been around for
long time.
Yeah.
Think 20?
It's possible getting to there.
Well, it could be because it was 97, 98. I bet you 98, 99. Yeah.
Because then I think he released 2 under his own name. But the original 2 albums he released apart from Dream Theater were under the Mole Muzzler.
Yeah, I remember.
And Sfogli was on a handful of the stuff that Labrie did. I forget how they found him, but he's an Italian guitarist. He's fantastic. Been around for a while.
It's a good segment. We should definitely do more of those.
Yep. Hopefully, look forward to and please, if anyone has anyone to recommend to me, send it in. I'm always looking.
I think you got them all. I think you discovered.
I think I have enough guitarists of the podcast for the next 50 shows.
I don't think anybody can tell you who else is out there.
Never know.
You do your homework.
I try.
You definitely do your homework.
I try. Maybe I should start playing more than looking. Maybe I could be one of those guitarists one day.
You should just start writing. I keep telling you. I don't know what you're waiting for. Maybe that's why we should wrap this up so you can get to practicing.
Yeah. Or we could get to recording.
We could. We want to hear from you, so write in your opinion, comments, or topics you want us to talk about too. The subject is moot@yahoo.com, and we will bring them up during future shows. You could also follow us on Twitter at TSIM_podcast, as well as Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. In the search bar, just type in the subject is Moot or Dom Mike, and you will find us. For now, I am Dom, and across from me is
Mike, and we are out.